Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Techno Talks here. So it's been around almost 2 weeks since I've owned the OnePlus 8, and if you guys have noticed, I made a couple videos about this device, and so far I've had mainly positive things to say about this phone. Overall, let me just go ahead and say this one more time. The OnePlus 8 is a great device. If you're looking for a phone around this price point, the OnePlus 8 is one of the phones that you can go for. There are many other options like the S20 FE that recently was released, which is still a really good option, and sometimes it might even be better than this phone. However, as I said, it's one of the phones that you can get at this price point that is actually really good and it's worth the value. So, as I said, it's been around 2 weeks, and in the 2 week time period, I've had many things that I've done with this phone. The phone, I used it as my daily driver for around the first week, and then after that, I carried this around with me as a secondary device. I didn't use it as my daily driver, but I still tended to use this device even when I had my main phone on me. I would just use this when I'm just going on the road, maybe I'm on a long trip or whatever, and I've enjoyed using this phone. Screen. Let's talk about the screen on this phone. The screen is great. I really enjoyed this phone. It's really bright. As you can see, the camera can't even pick it up correctly since it's set to the highest right now. Let me just bring that down real quick. Overall, the screen brightness on this phone is great, and I've enjoyed using it in road trips or whatnot, or when I'm outside during a sunny day. And overall, it's been really nice. It's been bright. I can see everything on the phone, and I haven't had any issues with not being able to see anything. So that's one thing that I enjoyed about this phone. Another thing would be battery life. We have a 4,300 milliamp hour battery, and it goes the full day. I get around 6 hours of screen time on this phone, even with the 90 hertz refresh rate screen, which is absolutely awesome. I enjoy this screen, the fluid screen, so much. And whenever I go back to a device with 60 hertz refresh rate screens, it feels really slow. I am not sure why, but this phone is really nice. The screen is great. I enjoy the higher refresh rate, and overall screen quality is nice. As I said, when I was talking about battery life, it lasts me around 6 hours, and charging. So it lasts me 6 hours. However, let's say you have a heavy load that day. You're constantly on your phone. There's nothing else you do. You're only on your phone. This phone, if you have watched my recent video that I posted around 2 days ago, I made a charging comparison between the S10e, and if you haven't seen that, the S10e had a 1,000 milliamp hour battery, 3,100 milliamp hours, and it was almost 1,000. It was 1,200 milliamp hours smaller than the 4,300 milliamp hour battery on here. And guess the results? The OnePlus 8 won, and it won by almost 35 minutes. So what can I say about this phone? The battery life is great. Charging it is really fast. It took an hour. It took 57 minutes to charge this phone from 0 to 100%, which is absolutely great. I really enjoyed having that faster charging capability, the 30 watt warp charge that they include with it. And overall, it's great. I enjoyed being able to fast charge, well, at least fast charge this quick with a device that has a pretty reasonable amount of battery size. It has a pretty big battery size, and it also lasts me the whole day. Next up, I really enjoyed the design. It's slimmer than my S10 Plus, I can say that. It is slimmer, however, it is a little taller, and being slimmer, it allows for an easier hold. I'm easily able to grip this phone, and I feel confident when I'm holding this phone. It doesn't feel like it's gonna slip out of my hands and just fall to the ground and maybe crack something. I feel confident holding this device in my hand without a case. It's not slippery. I get a good grip on this phone, and it feels nice. The feeling of the phone, the overall design, the material they've used, it's really nice. I like the matte finish that they have on the back, which adds another texture to it, which feels nice again. And so overall, it's a really nice device. What can I say, man? It's great. Next up, let's talk about something that I didn't like in my 2 week period. During that 2 week period, I noticed that the camera had a lot of flaws. Well, mainly not flaws, but the camera overall just wasn't a great camera. I didn't use this phone to take a lot of photos. I did take some sample photos. However, mainly I used my daily driver when I carried it around with me to take photos, since I did not enjoy the camera quality on the OnePlus 8. Especially videos. Videos were terrible. That's all I can say about it. Comparing it to every other phone that I've had, video quality was not the best. It's very below, it's down all the flagships. They might have been able to make it better, but I get it. It is a $700 phone, and they might have had to cut from some things. So, as I said, cameras are not the best. Feature-wise, the OnePlus 8 is really nice. I enjoyed the OS, since it is a simple OS, and it's very close to stock Android, which is nice. Being able to move from devices like the Pixel to the OnePlus 8 was actually very easy for me, since it's very similar, and it's been great overall. I haven't had any bugs, I haven't had any app crashes or whatnot, and so overall the OS is great on this phone, and it's optimized very well. I'd say in one way, since it's not as heavy of a launcher as One UI, this phone is definitely faster. Even if it was going against the S20, I feel like this phone would be faster than that, or at least feel faster and smoother, since the launcher on it is not as heavy as One UI. So those are most of my thoughts on this device. There isn't much I can say anymore. I'd say that this phone, if you're looking for a phone, definitely you can go for this phone right here. You won't be disappointed unless you're a person that takes a lot of photos. Then go ahead and look for the S20 FE, or maybe even wait for the new Pixel 5 to be released. So overall, as I said, great phone. Definitely, if you're looking to buy a phone, you can go for this phone. And in that 2-week period that I've used this phone for, I've had mainly pros and mainly things that I like about this phone and enjoy, and some features that I actually wish were on other phones. One of those being the mute switch right here. I wish Samsung implemented this. The mute switch is just overall great. You can turn it into you can mute your phone instantly. You don't even have to look at your screen, open your phone. You can just mute it in your pocket by just putting your hand in your pocket and just pulling it down or pulling it up. So very convenient feature to have. It's very nice overall, and as I said, definitely if you're looking for a phone, you can go for this phone. For the price point, it's actually really good. $700. You can also find this for $600 on Amazon, which that's where I got it from. I got it for $600, and even if you're getting it for the $700 price point, this phone is still a great phone that you can buy, and you will not be disappointed by it. That's all I can say. Those are my thoughts on this phone. It's been around 2 weeks, as I said, and I feel great. This phone was really nice to use. I really enjoyed it. However, I will be making a video on talking about why I might not be keeping this phone. As I said, this phone is great. However, as you guys might have heard, the OnePlus 8T is being released, and I'm actually excited about that phone, and that is one of the reasons why I might be returning this device to get the OnePlus 8T. So in this period of owning this phone, great thoughts. I really believe this phone is great. I can't give you guys much of an opinion about how long this will last, but it will probably last 3 years at least, since it will be getting OS updates for 3 years, and it will probably run smooth for maybe 4 to 5 years unless you do something with it, you're using it a lot. Other than that, if you're just a normal general user, you can probably use this phone for around 4 to 5 years if you're using it carefully. So that's about it, guys. Those are my thoughts on this phone after around 2 weeks. And if you want to know if you should buy this phone, definitely you can go ahead and buy this phone. But as I said, you should wait for the OnePlus 8T, because as you guys might know, there might be something new coming to the OnePlus 8T, and the price point may vary as well. So that's about it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.